Welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm your host, Scott Ramf.
And I'm also your host, Noelle McAvoy. And it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. And it's been a wet week for everybody.
Did you see that heavy rain the other night?
Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
I live here.
Stop.
Okay.
But too early to be sassy, Scott.
I can be as sassy as I want to be sassy. Yeah, don't tell me what I can and cannot do. All right, so Glacier National Park opened for its 102nd season.
Oh, wow.
But nobody showed up. There was like a picture in the front page of the Missoulian, and it was just like, oh, it looks upon an empty park.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, it was.
And so no one showed up, huh?
Probably people showed up eventually, but for the very first morning, it was just like no one jumped off the train because apparently people still take trains.
We're open. We're open.
But Glacier National Park is open, and they're saying that because of the low rainfall and snowpack, the Trail to the Sun Road would be open sometime in June.
That'd be cool.
And usually we've had problems where it only opens in August.
Yeah. That'd be neat. Yeah.
But of course,
we've got some weather, right?
We got some weather to talk a wee bit about, and it is currently 48 degrees outside with a 50% chance of shower, dropping to about 30% tonight. Thursday, you can see it's somewhat trying to clear up, but of course, there's still a slight chance of thunderstorms happening Thursday. Friday, 30% chance of showers. Sunday, more of the same thing, and hopefully Sunday lives up to its reputation by being a sunny day with a high of 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
That'd be awesome.
Whew. But of course, with all this weather that's been going on here, I can definitely assure you that it'll be 10 degrees cooler than it has been.
Yeah.
Like the National Weather Service has been just like over
making stuff up.
The
National Weather Service has been wrong.
They've been wrong by like 10 degrees. They've been 10 degrees hotter than the most days.
10 degrees is too much for me.
Yeah. Because I was talking to Joel, the general manager of MCAT, and he was just like, yeah, I thought it was pretty warm, 60 degrees outside, and then Joel's like, well, it was supposed to be 79. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh well. I mean, you can't really predict the weather, especially at this time.
Yeah.
Because like fall and spring, our weather's just so crazy.
Yeah.
Like that hail the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We have 3 groups of guests. Well, actually, we have 4 groups of guests.
Yep.
We have Devin Carpenter.
Yep, Devin Carpenter is here from Big Sky Pride, along with Susie Poloski and Matt Newman, and there are sponsors from the Catalyst. And so they're going to be talking about Big Sky Pride and why the Catalyst wanted to get involved.
Yep, and then we have Charney.
Charney.
Sorry about that if I'm mispronouncing it.
From the Brain Injury Alliance of Montana to talk about it's a bowl for Brain Strong.
Yep, and of course I have a interview with Gary Gillette as well.
Yeah, and then we have Topher here from downtown.
And he's talking about what is today? What is today? It's out to lunch. It's out to lunch. It's the very first out to lunch.
Yep.
And they've also extended it by 2 days. But of course, I'm going to let Topher talk all about it because, that's what he's here for.
Very true, Scott.
Yes, very. Okay. Okay, so we're going to show a PSA, and then when we come back, we're going to have our very first guests on from talking about Big Sky Pride. So stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
Oh, hey! We didn't notice you there. Say, we're at an MCAT camp right now, and over the past summer, we've had many of them, so many that I can't keep track. And during these camps, we've had groups making movies all day long. It's a really great thing. And you can sign your child up today. The thing is, MCAT camps are amazing and fun, and everyone loves them. So, if you're thinking of camps to put your child in this summer to get them away from you, choose MCAT, because we know what we're doing, I think. And everything is just spectacular. Here I am, cat. Here I am, cat. Everything is cool. Here I am, cat. Here I am, cat. Everything is cool with the K.
Hey, we're back with a huge group of people, and they're here to talk about
Big Sky Pride.
Big Sky Pride.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with you, Devin.
Okay.
What is Big Sky Pride?
So Big Sky Pride is the Pride events that happen in Montana. The month of June is Pride Month, and they happen across the country. And so for in Montana, we call it Big Sky Pride.
Awesome. And then, so what are some of the events that are going on for Big Sky
So
Pride?
starting the week of June 15th, we have over 15 different events happening all over town. There's going to be a men's night, a women's night, both at the Roxy. There are events happening at the Palace, at the Badlander, and kind of the big event on June 20th, the Saturday, will be kind of the parade, the rally, and then the block party that will happen on Higgins and Main Street.
Yeah, we're showing your website right now. Could you talk about it a little bit?
So that first one on June 15th, we're kicking things off at the Tom Mar Bar with a fundraiser. So actually 20% of those proceeds are going to go to help Big Sky Pride. So if you want to come out and have dinner, there'll be that. Milk Crate Wednesdays, an event that happens every week. They're going to be doing a special Pride Night for us at the Palace. That's some electronic music. And then both the men's and women's Pride Nights happening on that Thursday and Friday are going to be actually movie social hours at the Roxy. Definitely there.
Yeah, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
What year is this? How long has Pride been around?
So this is actually the 20th year for Pride in Montana. It's been happening a lot longer in other places, but for Montana, this is the 20th year, and it actually hasn't been in Missoula for the past 20 years, so we're really excited to have it.
And it jumps around, and you can expect people from all over Western, Northwest, maybe even some people from the East coming down here to be involved with this as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some folks over from Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, maybe even as far away from Portland. I do know some people are coming from there, so looking forward to it.
Cool. And what day is the parade?
So the day, kind of the big events are going to be happening on Saturday, June 20th. If you want to watch the parade, the place to be is going to be on the Higgins Street Bridge. If you want to walk in it, staging will be about noon at Hellgate High School.
Oh, nice.
Anyone's welcome.
So is it going to start at Hellgate?
And
then go down?
walk to Main Street. Mm-hmm.
Okay, very nice. And then you guys are from the Catalyst.
Yeah.
And then you guys are the sponsors. So why did you decide to get involved?
As a restaurant in downtown Missoula, we're a welcoming community, and I know the owners are part of the community as well. We just wanted to give our part and show everyone Missoula is a very friendly place.
Yeah. Cool. And so Matt, what does Big Sky Pride mean to you?
Well, specifically in Montana, I think it's important for us to all come together in a public outcry, because there is still a lot of ignorance in some parts of Montana, especially. And I think on a more global scale as well, for people to be coming together, because there's still a lot of countries that are outlawing, gay activities or expressions of LGBT. So I think it's really important for this kind of thing to be happening.
Oh, cool.
Get together with the community.
Are there any specific events that you guys are involved in?
Not personally involved, and I'm excited to see the parade.
Right. So Devin, is there any specific event that you're really excited about from all these?
I've kind of been heading up a lot of the entertainment going on, and I've never planned an event this large, and so I'm really excited to see the whole block party come together. We've got all kinds of bands from Montana. We've got a bunch of drag performers coming from across the state, from all over Montana, and so I'm just really excited to see kind of everyone there at the block party having a lot of fun all day long. Might as well, it's Missoula, we might as well do it out in the streets. Why try to hide anywhere else?
That's true. Missoula doesn't hide.
So, after this event, what is next for the Big Sky Pride?
So Big Sky Pride will actually be rotating to Great Falls, Montana next year. So look forward to
Noelle's hometown.
I'm from Great Falls. I don't know. That'll be quite an experience.
Yeah, they just opened an LGBTQ community center actually. So it looks like they've got a good group of people up there who are excited to start organizing some things.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know why Great Falls got cool when I left. They started getting breweries, LGBT communities. Like, come on. But these guys will be back next Wednesday to talk more about Big Sky Pride with us. So is there anything else that you guys want to add before we head out?
Thank you. Everyone just come out and partake.
Yeah, check out bigskypride.com for all the events as we keep updating it on a daily basis.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back.
Can you spot the person with a brain injury? How about here? Or here? You can't always see a brain injury, There are people all around us with brain injuries. Meet Adeline, who suffered a fractured skull from a sledding accident. This is Glenn, who fell from his work truck. Missy was the victim of a random act of violence. Join Brain Injury Alliance of Montana March 30th for Bowl for Brain Strong. For more information and volunteer opportunities, please visit biamt.org.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of skin cancer, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer, and the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Here.
Hi, we're back with Charney, and she is from the Brain Alliance, right?
Brain Injury Alliance of Montana.
Awesome. And so what's going on with the Brain Injury Alliance of Montana?
Well, we're having a Bowl for Brain Strong, on Sunday, June 7th at Westside Lanes. We start at 10:30, and we're encouraging people to sign up as teams. We have some sponsors who have paid for other people to bowl, so if there's some people that want to bowl, they can give us a call. And our number is 541-6442 if they want to bowl, and we'll make sure we have a spot for them. But the issue is also that we want to raise awareness and educate people about brain injury. So it will be a fundraiser, and we're excited that we have a sponsor as the Community Medical Center.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so there are a lot of businesses are also sponsoring lanes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about brain injury. For people, how many people does this afflict?
We estimate there's 44,000 people in Montana who are impacted by brain injury, as well as their family members and then providers that help them, caregivers, and so it's a really huge issue. A lot of the brain injuries are caused by car accidents, falls, bicycle accidents and whatever. So our agency is really encouraging prevention and education so that those things don't happen. There's probably about 25 people a day that do sustain a concussion. Some are more severe than others. So we encourage people to wear helmets and use their seat belts and don't text and drive.
Yeah.
So we collaborate with a lot of other agencies in terms of the empowerment of and prevention activities.
And what's the number one cause for brain injury?
In Montana, it's the car accidents.
Is it?
And we've also this year taken on people who have strokes, because that is a brain injury as well. So it's not necessarily the elderly, because even younger people can have strokes. But that's a major thing that happens that we've probably ignored as strokes, is a brain injury.
And what services do you guys provide?
We have a helpline where people can call for resources and get connected with case managers after they leave the hospital. We get referrals from hospitals or clinics, working with statistics with police and emergency personnel, firemen, and that kind of thing. But it's a matter of helping the family members as well as the caregivers and the person with a brain injury. We have support groups throughout the state of Montana. There's about 11 support groups in the bigger cities, and we encourage the development of other support groups so that it's an ongoing process, because it does affect so many people. So we do that. We have just finished up 4 conferences. We had in Bozeman, Miles City, Kalispell, and Great Falls. Nice. And we had a wonderful attendance there of people to talk about the dynamics of brain injury and how to cope with it. And there's a lot of methods that we can help them remember things, because a lot of people lose their memory, their ability to communicate. There's certain behaviors that they have and that are not normal, but for that person. And the person's personality often changes, and so the conferences have helped them. Right.
So what is when a person gets brain injury, what is some of the first things you do to help them?
Well, of course, it's the medical community that they're probably involved with. But if they can just call our helpline, and then we can refer them to resources, and then attend the conferences, and then really say, what other things could we do to prevent and educate
Right.
people and to educate the community about brain injury.
And also brain injuries. Are there some like different levels of brain injury where like some brain injuries don't last? You can recover from some brain injuries.
Well, it depends on what part of your brain is injured. You know, whether it's the spinal area, the frontal lobe, the left or the right, and what it impacts people differently depending on the injury. You know, and it could be from paralysis to just memory loss. You know, and so we deal with whatever individual case it may be in terms of helping them.
But a lot of times, a lot of brain injuries is like a life sentence in a way.
Well, yes, they have to learn to live with a brain injury. At our conference, we have had speakers who have brain injuries. One of them, featured speakers, was a veteran who was in the Iraq War, and because of the bombs and the blasts, he has post-traumatic stress plus a brain injury. We have a woman who actually lives here in Missoula who spoke, and she had a car accident 25 years ago where a car ran into her when she was stopped, and she hit the windshield. She had, I guess, whatever, I'm not sure of the details, whiplash, and she still copes with it. And the person might have they appear normal, there's no physical signs, but emotionally and mentally, forgetting things, getting very high emotions, either sad or very glad, their body temperature might change. So, you know, I personally have had 3 concussions, and I think that it takes sometimes to realize that, you know, it took months to just feel good.
Yeah.
And so you can say I recovered, but there are people that don't, and it is in the paralysis or
And the thing about brain injuries is that a lot of times you don't know.
That's right.
Because a lot of times it's all internal.
Right. And one of the interesting things is in 2013, the legislature here in Montana passed the Dylan Steigers Act, where you have to take a young athlete in the school, like out of the football game, if it's perhaps they have a brain injury, and they have to be checked by a medical person.
Right.
And we're trying to expand that act to, in the future, at the 2017 legislature, to involve other youth sports.
Yeah, especially when you have the kids, like some like you have the older kids, some kids are more developed than other kids. You have like a kid who's probably like still 5'5", hasn't hit his growth spurt. Then you have a kid who's 6'4", 250 pounds, rushing right at you and tackling you.
Right.
It's something you got to look out for sure.
But it's also youth sports, you know, in terms of even soccer, they don't wear helmets.
Yeah.
You know, there's other things, and roller skating, skateboards, and that kind of thing. It can affect anybody, and The other thing is the funding for it, and we have a governor's council. Governor Steve Bullock has a council that brings together people throughout the state of Montana to talk about things that we can do to fund programs, either prevention, education, or intervention.
And speaking of education, where can people find more information about your...
Well, they could call the Brain Injury Alliance of Montana, and the number is the 541-6442. And Kristen Morgan is the program director, and she can kind of give people the direction to go.
Awesome. And then I just have one more question, is what steps can people take to protect their brains when they're out, like activities and going out in the community or doing what they do?
Well, just be very aware of your surroundings and use safety equipment, you know, and be very alert when you drive. I was rear-ended like 2 years ago, and I was stopped again, but I wasn't hurt at that point. But just be very aware of your surroundings and drive safely, and just be very careful, I guess.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
You're very
we really
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we go?
Just hope that people will call and perhaps join us at the Bowl for Brain Strong on Sunday on June 7th, so there's still time to do that. We have some lanes open.
Yep, at Westside Lanes,
Yeah,
right?
and the second thing is that we do have a silent auction, and I had intended to bring one of the bowling pins. We've had used bowling pins painted by local artists, and just come, if people just want to come to the Westside Lanes, you know, from 10:30 to 2 o'clock, we have the silent auction open, and they can buy one of these pins. They're beautiful pins, bowling pins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
You're very
And we have
welcome. Thank you.
Topher coming up right after this, talk about Out to Lunch.
Whenever you cough or sneeze, cover your mouth. Do so, please.
I'm Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
For the last 30 years, the Montana Hope Project has been granting wishes to Montana children who face life-threatening illnesses.
I'm Montana Hope.
To make a donation and help their wishes come true, please visit montanahope.org.
Hey, we're back with Topher Williams, and he's here from the Missoula Downtown Partnership, not the
association.
Yeah, we are a partnership of 3 organizations, including the Downtown Association.
Partnership.
A
Okay,
huge
so
cornucopia of downtown celebrations
downtown
and activities
cornucopia.
for the Missoulians alike.
And so we're talking about everyone's favorite summer events, which are
Out to Lunch, and of course our other summer series event, Downtown Tonight.
Yeah.
And of course today is the launch of Out to Lunch, and we couldn't be more excited.
Awesome. And so who's playing?
Well, Showdown is playing this week, and next week you can come back and hear 3 Year Dog.
Sweet.
Nice.
For Out to Lunch?
For Out to Lunch.
And you have so many people wanting to get involved and so many stuff happening. You guys extended it by 2 weeks.
So that's right. So Downtown Tonight, it's our 15th anniversary this year, and so to celebrate, we decided to do 15 weeks of Downtown Tonight instead of just 13.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night from 5:30 to 8:30, you can hear a good old-fashioned play at Downtown Tonight. So, and of course, with Out to Lunch, it's our 30th anniversary this year, so we couldn't be more excited about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Could we have some old videos from MCAT's vault of Out to Lunch used to have an MC, like, in the very beginning, and it was the guy who voices all the Grizz games
Oh, really?
at the stadium. Yeah.
So this year, our media sponsor is Montana Public Radio, and today Michael Marsalic will be down there doing our MCing. So.
Very nice.
Still another well-known voice from the Missoula community.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. And then, so what else happens at Downtown Tonight in lunch in the park?
Yeah, well, of course, there's music, there's food. We have about 20 food vendors, folks that Missoulians are very familiar with and love. They'll be down there. You can get yourself some lunch, hang out, have listen to some music, do a little dancing,
eat some food.
Fun. Eat some food, exactly. This week,
see, you guys hand out these great flyers, and it tells all the bands and all the stuff that's happening.
Absolutely, we have them all over town. You can find them in our office as well as different spots throughout the community. This week, we're really fortunate. We have 3 amazing sponsors who are making this possible. We're very fortunate to have Community Medical Center, First Interstate Bank, and Republic Services of Montana supporting the work that we're doing in connecting folks with our downtown community.
Awesome.
What's the some of the new things Out to Lunch in Downtown Tonight are doing?
Yeah, well, of course, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and for Out to Lunch and our 15th anniversary with Downtown Tonight, there's children's activities at each of these events. This week, you can come down to Out to Lunch this afternoon and bring your kids and check out the Spectrum exhibit that will be down there today.
Nice.
Because you guys usually have a feature. You have like the band to the left, and then to the right there's the featured sponsor of that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you guys have all sorts of different sponsors from there as well. Is MCAT sponsoring any one of these? Because I remember MCAT did it last year.
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I will say that
we did last year. We did one last year.
All right, let's look. I thought that we did too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just think it's really awesome how many different organizations have come together from across Missoula to sort of help make this happen.
I do too.
We feel really fortunate to have the support of so many different organizations throughout our community. It's an amazing thing to be a part of, and especially one thing that folks in Missoula get really excited about every time is the Mountain Line Trolley is coming down to Out to Lunch.
Nice. And if you don't know who the Mountain Line Trolley is, back a long time ago in Missoula, long far away, there used to be a trolley and a tram track in Missoula that ran on electricity and it had a bunch of wires just hanging from the buildings. It would just travel through here, collect power. It was our own little thing. We're trying to be a little bit like San Diego in
So it's a little
respect.
bit like a throwback by being able to have this trolley. And that trolley is sponsored by the Parking Commission, Missoula in Motion, as well as Blackfoot Communications. So we're lucky to have those folks involved with us as well.
Yeah.
And Spectrum and our other children's activities are brought to us, of course, by Pediatric Dentistry here in Missoula. So we're very fortunate to have those folks on board as well.
Yeah, the best thing about Missoula is that everyone is so community oriented, and everyone is just so down to like get together and make things happen.
It's true. It's why I live here. It's probably why you live here. I think it's why a lot of us live here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place to live, and it's an amazing community that you just don't find a lot of other places. And out to lunch in downtown tonight are excellent opportunities to sort of connect folks with our community and celebrate what it is to be a Missoulian.
Yeah. Okay, so one more time, when and where?
All right, so Out to Lunch is happening today and every Wednesday, June through August, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Caras Park. Downtown tonight is happening Thursday evenings, starting tomorrow for the next 15 weeks through the end of the summer. First couple weeks of September there in Caras Park as well, from 5:30 to 8:30.
Awesome.
Right.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on, guys.
Yeah, we full show. We still have a lot more show to go on. We have Noelle with events coming up. We have Aspah talking about some music stuff. I have Hallmark or Bullmark.
Yep, and we've got our last interview with Gary Gillette right now.
Yes. Hey, Gary.
What's happening, man?
What's up?
I always wake up in the morning.
You wake up in the morning?
Making music. I wake up in the morning
making music.
Making music. That's what it is. Usually it's not on this wonderful little claviola, you know. Usually it's on a tuba, but this is that's not as sweet as a tuba, but it's still music, man.
Yep. You save your air, you save your lungs, I guess.
When I get old and I can't breathe anymore, maybe I can play this. I never learned how to play it well in the first place.
But you're here for another reason.
Yeah.
You're here to talk about
God for the city band. There we go.
Yes, school's out. Now it's time to enjoy some fun with some music with the community.
With the community. That we rehearse at nighttime, so it's a whole lot easier to get ready for. Like I have all day long to try to wake up and prep and prepare myself for the city band.
At night, where people just...
It's a much easier gig. Maybe that's why I don't get paid as much for it. That might be part of it, you know? It's an easier gig.
But you do, you get enriched with the citizens of Missoula.
Scott,
not to mention some of the gray hairs that always enjoy it.
God, the gray hairs and the blue hairs. I especially like the blue hairs. Those gals and I get along just fine. It's not just them, but people of maturity, they come to things with meaning. And as we are young and we are on our own, oftentimes we don't see the value in that. And as we mature, we begin to follow these people of age and experience. And next thing you know what? There you are, the city band. You're at Bonner Park on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock with your little picnic basket.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say pitchfork or something.
Picnic, no, I went to Yogi Bear. Picnic
basket.
That's what it was. Most certainly. So folks can enjoy the concert, so they can come out and be a part of them. Either way it is. Yeah. Like you and I get together on Monday evenings and rehearse. Now
that happens for anybody who knows how to play an instrument.
I give them the breath test. Oh man, you can make the band.
And I probably could use a mint too.
It's okay. It was far enough away. Whoever would like to be a part of the city band can always come down on Monday evenings, and you don't have to make the whole season. When was the last time you had perfect attendance?
When I was in high school, summer of high school.
Yeah, most of us don't block out the whole summer for it. I'm a loser, so I usually block out the whole summer. That's it's a commitment.
I remember a couple times where you weren't there.
I have occasionally taken a week off. This year, I think now I'm arranging my vast tuba schedule around the city band.
And this happens for 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Each Monday we meet and we pretend to rehearse, and then we bump over to Bonner Park every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and You know, the only time we ever have any trouble with weather is June, and we only have one June date this year. So maybe we'll be okay with weather this year.
Oh, and where can people find more information? Like where
we've got the www, man, MissoulaCityBand.org, and let's see what else we got.
We got Facebook.
We got Facebook. That's right. You can go to us on Facebook and be our friend. Will you be my friend?
You can like you on Facebook. Doesn't mean
like me.
without being friends.
Okay. I don't know how that stuff works. We thought about tweeting or whatever that. I don't think so yet. We have these people, members show up with their phones and they'll look at the weather right there and tell us, hey, it's going to rain. And we did that once last year. Then we said, we better hurry up and get going because it's going to rain in 35 minutes.
Yeah, people with the people have the satellites on their phones.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's a time by time of the storm pattern coming in.
And we believed them, and it worked out well for us.
Oh, for that time.
And then we also do 4th of July.
Yes, which is happening on a Saturday.
Is that when 4th of July is this year? A Saturday?
Yeah, July 1st is on Wednesday.
Man. Okay. I didn't take a look at the calendar. July in the summertime it don't matter. Monday, Wednesday, it doesn't matter to me. Saturday. Well, that's going to make it easier for the normal folks, the poor people that work real jobs. It'll make it easier for them to come the 4th of July.
Wait, breath test? I've never heard of the breath test.
What's that breath test? Can you breathe? You can play in the Missoula City Band. That's what that is. They wonder if there's an audition. I'll audition younger kids. Sometimes we'll have some talented high school kids that want to come and blow with us, and I'll do a real audition. But it's open to adults, whoever would like to show up, and they can just show up for a Monday rehearsal and a Wednesday gig.
All right.
That'd be just fine.
Well, why didn't you just play us out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, another tune. They're going to end up with the same song, probably. I only know one, Did you take class piano? Did you get a real music degree or not?
Well, thanks, Gary.
I almost. Thanks for seeing you, Scott. Let's get together at the City Band, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there, buddy.
All right, there it was.
That was good.
I needed a break.
That was pre-taped. That was pretty hilarious.
But we shouldn't tell I didn't tell our other guests that because I don't want them to get. Want them to do that. I just want them to come early.
We don't pre-tape for everyone.
We don't pre-tape. Actually, that wasn't pre-tape. We just did that live, and I dissolved into myself when I came back. Just saying.
And then Scott changed his shirt, and I magically appeared. And then we moved the piano over, and Asaph came too. A lot just happened.
A lot just happened for sure. And of course, a lot is happening in the next couple of days. Segue over to Noelle's segment called. What's your segment called? Noelle's.
Can we all just appreciate that segue, please? Can we all just take a moment to appreciate that segue?
Okay, so what's your segment called? Noelle's nasty events or Noelle's gnarly events?
Noelle's gnarly events. Let's do that. Yeah. So you guys, it's time for Noelle's gnarly events. Up first, man.
Okay.
Okay, I know I couldn't do that the whole time.
I could.
Stop.
I did for a Boys and Girls Club thing. I did an interview thing. Were you there?
I don't remember. Yeah.
When I was doing that weird voice for like the whole time.
So yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, like the last interview felt like with Gary, it felt like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I didn't learn anything about the City Band. I just laughed a lot.
But yeah, City Band starts sometime.
Sometime soon.
No, it starts on the next Monday is June 9th.
Yep.
So it's June 16th.
Cool. So 2 weeks.
And it's gonna be it would be that Monday is the first rehearsal. Then they have another rehearsal the next week, and then they officially do it 3 weeks from today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, here are events for today and tomorrow. Up first, we've got today's events. So starting at 8:30 a.m. this morning. So if you're not watching us, you can tune into the trail at 103.3. And on Monday, they were doing the Missoula Public Library was talking about their book club, Goodreads, and they were doing like an online book club selection and discussion. And so now this is the radio part of that. So there's a online book chat on the trail at 103.3 starting at 8:30 this morning. And so they're just going to talk about the book on the trail. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do when I start my own show on the new Missoula Community Radio.
Oh, yeah?
Is I'm going to read books to people, and not even well. I'm going to read it terribly. Like, what's this word? I'm going to skip it. And just do it for like the whole like 3 hours.
Sense. I'm not going to do that.
It's really hard to do a show for 3-4 hours like all these DJs do.
Yep.
But we're doing an extended show for you guys today as well.
We are, because we have so much content.
We have a lot. I have city council to talk about today, too.
Yeah. Okay, so first, up next, we've got 1 Million Cups in Missoula. This is at Montec, starting at 9 a.m. And this is a simple way to engage entrepreneurs and communities around the world. Each week, 1 Million Cups features 2 local entrepreneurs as an opportunity to present their startups to a diverse audience. So they give like a, give 6-minute education preparation and presentation about their business, and then they engage in 20 minutes of feedback and questions. Yeah, and so it's a really great way if you're an entrepreneur and have an idea and don't know what to do and need some help or feedback. Check this out. It sounds like it's a really
from people who know what they're
environment.
doing.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a really supportive environment. Mm-hmm. And like Topher just said, Out to Lunch starts this week from 11 to 2 today. Entertainment is live music by Showdown and kids activities by Spectrum. Story time is at the Sealy Lake branch at Missoula Public Library. And so at the Sealy Lake branch of the library, they're going to have story time starting at 11. So if you are located near Sealy or just want to go out for a day trip, check that out. Spectrum Discovery area, their Discovery Bench is astrobiology and the Brain Lab are neurons. $3.50 for anyone 4 and over. Natural Grocers has a Protect Your Skin from the Inside Out class. There's at 1 p.m. today. And they are going to be talking about why sunscreen isn't enough and what steps you need to be taking to protect your skin better this summer. As we are so close to the sun and we're so high up in elevation, it really affects us a lot. Yeah, and so it'll just, give you nutrition savvy, explanations on what to do.
Learn about your skin, learn about how your skin reacts to the sun, and the essential oils you need to prevent skin cancer.
Things that you can do, yeah, and then we've got middle school writers starting at 3:30 today. This is for writing group for ages 6 through 9. This is for middle school kids to just give feedback, play on words, and eat some chocolate. Bayer & Brewing Company, they're having an aerial beers for benefit at Bayer & Brewing Company. So every 50 cents for each beer sold between 4 and 8 will be donated to Aerial. You can also enter to win a Patagonia jacket, and raffle tickets are $5 per ticket or 3 tickets for $10.
What?
Yeah. Top Hat Lounge has got Sharon in the Groove celebrating the music of Fish. This is their live recorded audio, well not live, but this is their audio show with video of Fish. This is during their happy hour. They have Fish themed happy hour, audio show, video, more trivia. Yeah. Kettle House has got their Community Unite. For every pint sold, they donate 50 cents to the organization of the night. Learning Center Red Willow's got meditation for veterans. This is part of their Heroes Therapeutic Outreach Program, and it's in partnership with the American Legion. And it's a free meditation course for veterans, their families, and caregivers. There's yoga for bicycling at the Peaceful Heart from 5:30 to 7:30 today. This is where they learn to incorporate yoga postures into their posture on the bike. And so this is for bicyclists that are sore, need some new stretches to get onto their bike and help bike faster, more efficiently, and safer for their body. So this is for cyclists, mountain bikers, commuter, leisure riders, welcome. And encourage no previous yoga or biking experience is necessary.
That's 2 things that should never mix. I mean, can you imagine do yoga and bicycling at the same time? What? Or is it yoga then bicycling, or bicycling then yoga?
Then bicycling, and then after you bicycle, you do more yoga and stretch yourself out. Yeah. So it's going to be an hour and a half at the studio. Then they're going to do a practice ride to try out their new posture to get some ice cream or sorbet. So come on your bicycle, $20, and payment is required at the time of registration. You can visit their website, Peaceful Heart, or you can just go to 725 West Alder, number 3. Willard Peterson is playing some music at Imagination Brewing Company at 6 p.m. tonight. And that is a new brewery that has opened up in Missoula within the past few months. It's on West Broadway, so go check that out. There's figure drawing at the Zootown Arts Community Center starting at 6 p.m. This is June 3rd through June 17th. It's Wednesdays, 6 to 8, $15 for walk-ins, $12 for pre-registered, and it's just figure drawing. They'll have some materials, but you should definitely bring your own. Public Library's got Socrates Cafe. This is an informal yet intelligent and lively discussion of topics relating to core areas of philosophy. Participants choose a broad question to explore at each meeting, spend time turning it inside and out, upside and down, and occasionally wrong way round, and then they just talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like Socrates discussions are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Basically, that's exactly how he did it back in the day. Is they'd get a whole auditorium of people and they would just discuss these kind of things.
Yeah.
Because they were like the biggest power at that time, and they didn't have to worry about like being like killed in their sleep.
That's true.
During the time, the Romans were the policing towns, and the streets were safe for people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they could do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like use their brains.
But even then, they got thrown in jail for it.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But 7 to 9 in the boardroom, and you do not have to have previous training. There is a wild and scenic river forum. So this is a really cool event. This starts at 7 p.m. tonight at the Holiday Inn downtown Missoula. And what it is a massive discussion. So for the last 4 years, Montanans for Healthy Rivers have been asking citizens around the state what they love about their rivers and how they want to see these rivers protected. The results of a 2014 bipartisan survey showed that approximately 75% of Montanans support the Wild and Scenic Rivers Act as a tool to protect more Montana rivers. So thanks to this input of hundreds of Montanans, they're ready to draft their citizens' proposal for the new wild and scenic rivers in Montana. So this is a giant discussion. You can join them from 7 to 8 at the Holiday Inn downtown to learn about the draft citizens' proposal and to share your feedback and opinion. So this is a good time to go because you'll actually get your voice heard. Yeah, but that's what I've got going on Wednesday. Up next, I'm going to switch gears over to Asaph. All right, Asaph, what do we got today?
We're going to talk about a man named Borge Rosenbaum, known to the world as Victor Borge, the king of comedy, the king of piano comedy, I should say. He's also known as the Clown Prince of Denmark. Let's start this clip here, give you an idea.
Tanto sentimento come accento e me detto a sognare senti come pensare dai giardini daranti un profumo non vai guare per chi palpita d'amor.
So it gives you an idea of his comedy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's really silly.
He was born in 1909. Victor Borge. He was a Danish comedian, conductor, pianist. Actually, he was a concert pianist, but he turned to comedy. He started out his career doing regular concerts like, Van Cliburn, Liberace, and all the rest, but he decided to go into comedy, and for him, it worked. And that's how he got the nickname, the Clown Prince of Denmark, the unmelancholy Dane, and the Great Dane is what they called him.
It just seems like back in those days, especially like Babe Ruth had like 50 nicknames, and like there's so many nicknames. It's like, oh man, the piano of SWAT, piano of SWAT.
Yeah, well, he got his share of nicknames too. He was born into a Jewish family, and his father was a violinist in real life. His mom was a pianist, but this man was fortunate enough to take piano lessons from Friedrich Lehmann, who was a student of Franz Liszt. So, boy, you're in pretty good company when you can get those kind of piano lessons.
Yeah.
Anyway, he didn't speak English when he was performing overseas, and he did some routines, anti-Nazi jokes. This is at the start of the war, and when the Nazis took over Denmark, he was able to escape to Finland. Eventually he moves to the United States, and he learns how to speak English by watching movies.
Cool.
And then eventually he gets hired by Bing Crosby for the music hall program, and the rest is history.
Cool.
And he goes on to do all his routines. And this routine we're about to see is him playing the William Tell Overture backwards.
Okay. That's super funny.
Yeah.
So he just had a delightful time, and he appeared on shows like the Dean Martin Show when he was here in the U.S., and he's performed with Tony Bennett and just done all kinds of routines. In fact, he even tried to teach Tony Bennett how to do the phonetic punctuation. That's where he would write a story, and then like a question mark would be like,
yeah,
you know, that sort of thing. Yeah. So he just left the world some great comedy through the piano, and every once in a while he would play a song all the way through, like Claire de Lune or something like that.
Something nice, yeah.
Yeah, but he was known for not finishing songs, obviously because of his comic routines.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks, Asa.
Sure.
Nice. Well, up next we've got Thursday events. So everything I'm about to talk about is for tomorrow. And here's my microphone.
Yes.
Okay, so
we want the people to hear your beautiful voice, Noelle. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
But I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
It's my Monday, everyone. I don't know. It's definitely my Monday.
It's the beginning of the rest of your week.
It's the beginning of my work week. Yes. And I had a great 2 days off, and I just want to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so first for tomorrow morning, we've got NAMI Missoula weekly meeting. This starts at 10 a.m. at the Providence Center, 902 North Orange in room 104. And this is a free weekly meeting for anyone affected by mental illness or interested in learning about NAMI. Spectrum Discovery area, their Discovery Bench is engineering, and their brain lab is Savvy Smells. So it starts from 11 to 4. Read Dogs is at the Missoula Public Library. These are reading education assistance dogs. And so if you want to read but don't have anyone to read to, or don't know how, or just need something, you can go read to one of these cute little dogs. And this is every Thursday, 1 to 2, Dragon Rug in the children's area. And so Brennan's Wave, starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, is they're doing a Best in the West. So this is the longest standing river events in the West. For 2015, Zootown Surfers and Strong Mountain Surf Company, they've teamed up to create a amazing one-day river festival. So it'll take place in conjunction with the first Downtown Tonight, hosted by Missoula Downtown Association. And it's to showcase recreational, economic, environmental benefits of Brennan's Wave. And they also want to seek awareness about proposed future river enhancement projects like Max Wave. Yeah, so it's just going to be a bunch of local kayakers and surfers out there on the water competing for the Best of the West title and just putting on some entertainment and some shows. So that's from 1 to 8 tomorrow. That's all day. So check that out. Yeah. And then we have the NAMI Connection Support Group starting at 1:30 p.m. in 202 Brick Street, room 210 in Missoula. And this is a free weekly support group for adults with mental illness. We've got Lego Club going on at the Missoula Public Library. This is every Thursday from 3:30 to 5. Dragon Rug in the children's area. Lego and Duplo pieces are provided, and if you're under 12, you need an adult with you. Learning Center at Red Willow's got Easy Yoga for Beginners. It's a gentle beginner level yoga class for people new to the practice, as well as people who enjoy slow, mindful movement. La Grata Bella's got the downtown drop-in wine tasting starting at 5. So under the Old Post Pub at 107 West Bruce. Every Thursday at 5 p.m. Cost is $10 and a minimum of 4 wines in a different theme each week. University of Montana has got they're hosting a discussion. So the Tongue River Railroad is a proposed new rail line in southeastern Montana that would be constructed for the purpose of exporting Montana coal to Asia through Pacific Northwest ports, which also could mean more coal trains roaming through your community and more of an adverse effect on the environment. And so it's up for public comment. Tongue River Railroad can only be built if it uses the power of federal eminent domain to federally condemn up to 90 miles of private land for the sole purpose of exporting coal from southeastern Montana. Yeah, and so if you go to the Charles Clapp Building, room 131, tomorrow at 5:30, you can check out the discussion. You can give them your opinions and what you think and your feedback. And they need a bunch of people to tell the Surface Transportation Board, SDB, that this coal is only going to hurt Americans and hurt our environment. And, it should just stay in the United States. And so this is a discussion about that. And if that's something that interests you, check it out. At 5:30 tomorrow, Charles Clapp Building, room 131. University of Montana, they also have they've got a little discussion. It's called Who's Who in Missoula. And this is at the Paxson Gallery in the Park TV building starting at 5:30 tomorrow. It's a conversation with artist James Todd and the gallery tour of his monumental Family of Man mural from 1969. It's a little bit of a throwback, but still very informative. And Merry Place and Blue Moon are going to be at 5:30 at the Union Club. They play smooth and smoky jazz and blues and mix up all the events that are going on. Treasure State Toastmasters is going on at the Community Medical Center. This is a workshop-style program where participants hone their speaking and leadership skills in a low-pressure and supportive atmosphere. So whether you're a beginning or seasoned speaker, this is a place for you. They'll help you improve your speaking abilities, become a better speaker, improve your confidence, become a better leader, and communicate more effectively. And it's always free. Yeah. There is a 5-week copper etching class at the Zootown Arts Community Center starting at 6 p.m. tomorrow. This is June 4th, July 2nd, Thursday 6 to 8, $105 for members, $115 for non-members. And so students will learn the basics of copper plate etching and printing, and then they'll explore mark making, texturing, and laying through the methods of dry point etching and photo etching on copper plates. So go to zootownarts.org to register or call 549-7555. And my last event is country dance lessons with instructor Kathy Clark at the Sunrise Saloon. It's every Wednesday and Thursday at 7, $5 per lesson.
Well, we've been talking about that so much. I'm going to try to get Kathy Clark. See if she wants. Well, either on here or do like a little lesson, pre-taped lesson with her.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be cool.
I think so too.
That's some country dance. We live in Montana, for Christ's sake.
Might as well.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going on for today and tomorrow. Always check out MissoulaEvents.net, the Independent, the university website, and the newspaper, and the internet. They all got everything going on.
We have some city council to talk about. But first, I want to talk a little bit about all the stuff that's happened with city council. And of course, they had a public hearing on animal control ordinances and fees. So this is the background. The dog shelter, the section that has been added to the nuisance dog barking section is as a direct result of citizens, voicing their concerns to animal control. The proposed changes add language to clarify what is adequate shelter for a dog. The language has been changed to make nuisance barking dog ordinance more enforceable than has been language added, making it possible to recover costs of boarding and veterinarian costs of animals seized in cruelty cases. Rabies, where was I? Rabies section has been changed to match the county health code. The fees have been removed from the ordinance, and it is proposed that the fee schedule be determined through a resolution process. But what they're trying to say is that they want to put the city fees, they want to match it with the county animal control.
Yeah.
So many times animals are seized and the owners are charged with cruelty. The problem is that if the owner pleads not guilty, which they always do, the animal is held at animal control for many months, placing the care and vet costs on animal control. So what they're proposing is that there have been cases where thousands of dollars in care have been accumulated and costs never recovered by animal control. In one recent case, 3 horses were seized and cared for 18 months with a total cost for over $20,000, which is over 12% of the annual year's operating budget.
Mm-hmm.
So animal cruelty cases and stuff like that. So what they proposed is, this is Jeff Dura, he has some solutions along with the increased fees and have bonds for the defendant of the alleged cruelty to animals. So a bond is basically kind of like a bail bonds for an animal to stay at the shelter while they're pending the animal cruelty charges. So and then this is Carl Wells. He's he's from Ward 2, and he's concerned about the lines that are drawn between service animals and companion animals. And this is what he had to say about that.
But a service animal, by definition, is trained to do a specific task. A service animal is not. It's just any healthcare provider can write a note, and it's a reasonable accommodation. If you guys are looking for example language, the airlines use a very good example of the two because they very much distinguish between service animals and companion animals, and there's some certain steps. So if you want to make it so that persons who are sight impaired or some of the other services that are trainable, you could still waive that and have a definition.
Yeah, so basically the problem with a lot of the service animals and this end or that is that you can't legally ask a person if their dog is a service animal or a companion animal. It's that's what Jeff Dura responds to that, and he kind of clarifies what the line is and what is a service animal in reality, and how it's dealt with the animal control.
What I've experienced is, and I've talked to the ADA about it, is there you can only ask two questions. You know, what service does a dog provide? And I can't remember the other one, but they're very benign questions. You can't ask to say, can I see your certificate? Can I ask to see your license? So if the person says this is a service dog, we have to go with that. There's no way we can prove that it is or it isn't, and we see a lot of confusion. I know the definition between a service dog and the definition between a companion dog is there, but what we get from the public is, this is my service dog, and then you go, well, what does it provide for you? And then what we'll get is, well, I have post-traumatic stress, and that is a category that allows for a service dog, but it's just really hard to differentiate. We had in a doctor's office just recently, there was a gentleman in there with a pit bull, which I guess pit bulls can be service dogs, but there was a pit bull and had a very short leash. It was kind of a rope, not really what you would expect to be on a service dog. And a lady came into the doctor's office with what you would think was a bona fide service dog. It had the vest and everything on it. She came in the doctor's office, and the pit bull got up and attacked that dog. And he said his dog was a service dog, and it was like, well, how do you prove it is? You know, he says it is.
So that's one of the point. That's one of the points he was making for the service dogs. And of course, Jason Warner has a question. Let's move on. So Jeff, he answers a question from Jason Weiner about if an individual doesn't pay the fees while the animal is being held for civil or criminal reasons, and this has to do with if it's the cruelty to animal bond and thing, if they don't pay that bond.
If we have the animal and the court takes a look at it and says you're going to have to post this bond, if the person doesn't have the money to pay, it doesn't matter. The bond is there, and if you don't post the bond within 5 days, the animal's forfeited to us, and then it's put up for adoption. So.
Okay,
so that basically answers this question.
Interesting. And so did he mention anything about, like, you can readopt your animal after?
I don't know about readoption. I mean, like, it's put up for adoption, so I'm assuming
you would be able to.
In some ways, or I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming there's kind of preventative measures, especially if you're in a civil case, or like custody battle with the dog or anything like that.
Yeah.
There's just so many they're trying to clarify the ordinance for sure. There's a lot of stuff they have to clarify because there's always so new things that are being brought up as well.
Yep.
Let's see. And then Jason Weiner has a final question that he has for Jeff. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
I guess that video just kind of failed. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and talk a little bit about Okay, so if it looks like somebody is acquitted for, like, to say they abuse their dog, blah, 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 and then, like, some circumstances may allow you not to pay that bond while they're in the shelter being taken care of. And, of course, Dura has some concerns of his budget and, like, where am I? Sorry.
Yeah.
And then like, not to have to pay, of course, so you don't have to pay the bond in some circumstances of the case.
Yeah.
So if you're wrongly accused, let's say you have a neighbor that says that you abuse your dog, and it's like, that's not true. You don't have to, you have to apply for the bond, but then you can get reimbursed after everything has been cleared up and stuff like that.
Okay.
But of course, with this new fee schedule, and he wants to change the fees and he wants to increase the fees because in a lot of ways the city animal control system is has some issues with some budgeting. Like, it seems like a lot of people have a problem with funding and budgeting.
Yeah.
And let's see, I just have to double check. 42. Okay, so that's where it is, and this has his concerns for what's going on with city animal control.
I have 4 shelter attendants and I have 4 officers, and if any one of them's sick or goes on vacation, I'm cleaning kennels or jumping in a truck to go catch a dog, and I'm okay with that. But we're so tight, we don't have any breathing room, and right now by addressing the fees, it makes it so we can actually maybe buy a truck, and the shelter needs to be painted inside and out. My roof is bad with the weather that we've had yesterday and today. I'm afraid I'm going to lose shingles. I'm just going with what we have right now, and for me, to increase licenses is a way to do that.
All right, so that's him justifying the reason to increase.
I mean, how else is he going to get funding? And animals are important, and we don't want just packs of wild dogs running around. That's a reason that animal control is around. And it seems like they want to help the community more than, like, hurt animals.
And then there's another thing where he's talking about licensing fees, like putting a license on a dog, and there's some difficulties with that, and this is what he has to say about that.
We're trying to get an online licensing system. We've been in that process for the last 8 or 9 months. I'm hoping to have it by October when there's some website design going on right now, and I'm hoping by October we at least have online licensing for your dogs and you're able to do that. Right now you can license your dog at the shelter or City Hall or the courthouse.
But again...
Okay, so basically they're trying to work on a system where you can license your dog online to make it easier on you, but a lot of times I'm always not looking forward to going down to the courthouse or anything, like to do any kind of licensing or anything like that.
And then do they say, like, how much it is to license your dog or what the process is?
They don't say how much it is. That's the thing. I've been looking all over the place, and unless you already know, then it's interesting because they're just talking about matching the fees for the county, and I don't even know what the county fees are. And I was looking all over, and it's like, it's just not there. It's just not like up in the open, and that's one of the things that I do want to talk about is that I was like, you have all these fees and stuff. It's just like, where is it? Yep. And then of course, there's also licensing for chickens. For those of you who don't know, because they allow chickens in the city limits now, but most people don't know that they're supposed to have license for this chicken, and not that many people actually do. And then when there's complaints about roosters, and you have a little chick grow up to become a rooster, and people are like, okay, I have to complain about my neighbor, and it's like, the licensing needs to keep track about who has chickens and who's causing the noise complaint. But if they don't know who is doing all the noise complaints,
well, and then how are they really enforcing this stuff?
Exactly.
They're not.
Yep. And then, of course, he touches on the chickens thing a little bit, and this is what he says.
There is a workload item for chickens, and generally what it is, it's a complaint issue regarding neighbors. And what happens is when they buy their chicks or they have their chicks, they don't know they have a rooster until he starts to be able to crow. And then once he starts crowing, then we start getting complaints. And then we have to go to the neighborhood. And the thing is generally the ones that are complaining or getting complained about, we go out into the neighborhood trying to search them out, and they don't have a chicken permit. And so there's quite a bit of that. So there is a workload issue there where we get several complaints about a neighbor complaining about a chicken crowing, and we got to go try to figure out where that's at.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, that was the kind of like the gist of the animal control and what's going on with that.
Yeah.
The fees of animal they approved this.
Awesome.
They approved
Good.
rising the fees, and it will be effective July 2nd, 2015, which will match Missoula County's fees for licensing, all of that stuff with animal control.
Cool.
Of course, there's other public hearings that was focused on expanding boundaries of the downtown business improvement district, and of course, Marty Rabine, the city clerk, she talks about the places that are getting part of the downtown business improvement district, which is the BIDs, which basically is like how the SID is up in Hillview Way, where it's like a special district made for they tax that certain area to promote that kind of area, but it also gives the sweet money to certain organizations like the Palvarella Center, the YWCA, Little McCormick Park. I've walked past there, and they need to do some maintenance.
Yeah.
Just mow the lawn.
Yeah.
And of course, parts of the city of Missoula, and this is Marty Rabine. She's talking some of the area, and here's a little map of it all.
The properties are located along West Broadway in terms of the city's property across the street from the Palvarella Center. We have a triangular piece there. That is a parking lot that is adjacent to what is destined to be the new nonprofit brewery. Across the street is land that belongs to the Palvarella Center of Missoula, their new location, and then across the street from the PAV is the YWCA, and then the city has also petitioned to include the parcel that's, I think it's commonly called Little McCormick Park.
All right, so that kind of explains what I already kind of talked about.
Yeah.
But the last thing I wanted to talk about is John Wilkins had a little committee announcement that one of his in-laws was a target of a scam.
Oh.
And they lost over $9,500.
Oh,
because,
no.
And I'll let him kind of explain it. I think this is important for a lot of people to hear, because there's always scams going on, but this scam in particular is like one of the worst scams, and it gets anybody, whether you're
100 or
whether
10.
you're like trusting or not.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, wow, really?
Yeah.
But you got to watch out for this one. So this is John Wilkins.
There's still scams going on. People are calling up trying to get money off from you. If you're an elderly person, they're calling you twice as much as they're calling anybody out. So over the weekend, my in-laws were contacted. They were told that my son was in jail or incarcerated, a terrific car wreck, and he needed money, and the judge put a gag order, and my in-laws fell for this. And I mean, they hook, line, and sinker. She went down and got $9,500 out of their bank account and sent it off to who knows where. The next day, they kept calling her back, told her it wasn't enough, so she went to the bank again. And luckily, the bank intercepted and put a halt to the whole thing. But I said, how come you didn't call us? And she said, well, they put a gag order, and the people were real nice. They were really nice to me. So my in-laws lost $9,500 that they cannot afford. And my father-in-law has Alzheimer's, and he's in one of the last stages. My mother-in-law's watching out for him. There was a lot of stress in that family. My mother-in-law is not a stupid woman, let me tell you. But they managed to get to her by sweet-talking. This has happened. I knew this happened in Missoula a couple times, too. So it's still going on out there, and I want you to make sure that when you get a phone call that you be diligent. And there's never a gag order on anything. You call that person up that they're talking about, and if you're that concerned, and just don't send money. Check it out first, and call your local authorities. They'll handle it and help you through this thing. But unfortunately, it struck in my family, and I don't want to see it strike anywhere else.
All right, so
wow, that's
crazy.
Intense. Yeah.
But I'm going to lighten the note a little bit with a little section that we all like to talk about, and it's called Hallmark or Bullmark. Did you, I just like...
We have that down to timing.
We have that perfect timing, like all the time.
Perfect.
Anyways, hit it, Asaph. When Sylvia, a girl who is thought to be lost, comes home after 10 years of living in a cabin alone in the woods, finds that she has inherited her family fortune when her aunt dies. Things only get more complicated when her cousins and children of her late aunt, Mike and Michelle, hatch a plan to get back what they think they deserve. As Sylvia gets acquainted with a lavish lifestyle, she begins to wonder if she wouldn't be better off back in the woods in her cabin. It isn't until she meets the handsome nurse Drew that she may have second thoughts about going anywhere. And this is called Sylvia's Millions. Is this a Hallmark original movie, or is this complete Bullmark?
Oh, what do you think, Asaph?
I'm going to say Bullmark.
I'm going to say Bullmark, too.
All right. Well, you guys are right.
Yay!
It is a complete fake movie.
We finally redeemed ourselves from last time.
Yeah, we did.
Are you guys ready for the second part of Hallmark or Bullmark?
Yes.
All right, hit it. Thank you. The energetic life coach, Lisa, life is turned upside down when she dies. Given a second chance at life in the body of a complete stranger, she must find a way to tell people that the loved ones how she feels. With every person she says goodbye to, some believe that she has come back, while others have her arrested and thrown in jail. And crazy. She saves. Let's see. She saves the hardest goodbye for last when she discovers her boyfriend has moved on and apparently forgot all about her in this short amount of time. Everybody has their own way of coping with the end, and for Lisa, this is only the beginning. And this movie is called Life of Lisa. Is this a Hallmark original movie,
Man,
or is this complete
this is hard because it totally sounds like it would be a Hallmark movie. I'm going to go Hallmark.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. No?
Well, you guys are completely wrong.
Oh.
It is a complete Bullmark movie. I got you at least once.
That's hilarious. Lisa's life is turned upside down when she dies. Give a second.
There's no other way to turn your life upside down.
I love that I love that she gets arrested. Yeah. With every person she says goodbye to, some believe that she has come back while others have her arrested. What are you guys doing? You can't arrest that ghost.
It's a fake movie.
I know, this is hilarious, God. I love that.
Like you're trying
Let's just arrest her.
You're trying to find the logic of the movie I made up, so you have to find the logic in Scott. There is no logic.
He arrests ghosts all the time. Scott is on the Missoula police force, but for ghosts.
For ghosts.
Supernatural.
Oh, that's
Missoula
awful. That was a terrible movie with what's his face and what's his other face?
Ghostbusters?
No, they made a movie. It's called Rest in Peace Department. It was with Ryan Reynolds. It's almost like exactly like Men in Black, but with ghosts.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's
no,
stupid.
I didn't know that.
It's so terrible. I don't suggest watching it unless you're going to make fun of it. But anyways, you can find out more information by logging on to wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. Tell us more, Noelle.
You can also like us on Facebook. That's what Scott was looking at. And you can also like Wake Up Missoula on Twitter. As well as Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter and MCAT on Facebook.
Yes, where we post brand new programming and brand new stuff. We have a bunch of guests that were on today, so I'm going to be posting individual interviews on there as well.
Yep.
But of those.
And then you can also check out MCAT.org, where you can find out all of the new programming that we have, our schedule, everything going on at MCAT, about our summer camps, video on demand. You can watch us live. But we're going to harp on our summer camps.
Yes.
We have got 3 summer camps coming up. All of them still have space, as far as I know.
Yes.
Yeah. And so our first one
But the first one's filling up.
Is it? Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So the first one is our Raptors of the Rockies Wildlife Film Camp, where we're going to go to Kate Davis's Raptors of the Rockies.
Yes.
And film some cool raptors and edit the videos and just have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that starts in June, and then we got 2 others in July. We've got our stop motion animation camp beginning of July, and then we have our movie making camp end of July.
To wrap up the summer camps of the MCAT summer.
Yeah.
Have a very MCAT summer, people, because because summer is already upon us,
It's
technically.
upon us.
I already know it starts when the out to lunch and the farmers market and all that stuff start. It's all great times.
It is,
But of course, if you want to come on our show and talk about your upcoming event or cause with the nonprofit, you can call us at 542-6228, area code 406. You can also email us at mcat@mcat.org.
Yep, or check us out on Facebook.
Yep, you can email us. If you look for us, you can find us. So for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramp.
And I'm Noelle McFoy. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
And that's
we
Asaph.
will see you Friday. Yes.
Yeah, we will see you Friday.
Asaph.
Thank you. Take it away, Asaph. Awkward ending. Bye. Hi.